My name is Yaboyson from Afro Blaq Africa shows, and on today's episode of this section, we are talking about starting with what you have as a creative. I think personally, I think that is a conversation most people don't actually have with themselves because when I was coming up, when I started this whole thing, I actually started with a Samsung S4 somewhere around like 2014, 2015 thereabout, and we shot on phone for like a year or two, and within that whole period, I was actually reading about cameras, right? I was reading about cameras because nobody was actually going to give me the chance of shooting with their camera. So I was just working with the phone and then reading about cameras, reading about the exposure triangle. For the first time that I handled a camera, right, I actually have a good idea what the ISO was, the shutter speed was, the aperture was. So it was a little easy for me to like just pick up from there. But I kind of feel like right now, almost everybody wants to like get everything right, like have everything set before they start trying to actually do something, right? Everybody wants to actually have everything together before they start doing something. And personally, if you start like that, if you continue like that, if you continue thinking like that, there's no way you would actually be able to like get anything done. You just start with what you have, right? So I actually made a list of some things that we could actually go over. First of all, you start with what you have, just as I said. If you're creative and you're coming up and you kind of feel like you want to build something, right? First of all, you don't start being a creative and then you just don't start and then you expect yourself to start getting clients. It doesn't work like that. You have to be able to show something for it. You have to be able to show something for it. You have to be able to show people what you can do. Okay, now you don't have a camera. You don't have the budget to rent a camera. So what do? You have a phone. You start with your phone. There's nothing wrong with, see, personally, yeah, the project that actually put me out was shot on a 5S, iPhone 5S. And trust me, when I was shooting that, I was just having fun. Like, I was just playing around. And then, funny enough, everyone that actually saw the project actually liked it. Even comments from people who I knew that under no circumstances are they going to say, oh, I like, even when they like something, they will tell you, oh, no, they be. I actually had good comments from all these people. And that was when I realized, okay, I am there, I'm ready. So one of like my best projects that actually put me on that level, right, was shot on the 5S, iPhone 5S. So you just have to start with what you have. If you have a phone, start with your phone. Gather your buddies, gather your friends, start shooting with your friends. Like you just do something. You see, if you don't do something, you will never be able to know what you can do. If you don't give yourself the chance to do something, you will never be able to know what you can do. So you actually have to give yourself the chance to be able to do something. And being able to do something starts with what you have. Because if you are waiting to get everything right, then you will never get anything right. But you have to just start with what you have. So just start with your phone. If it's your phone, just start with your phone. There's nothing wrong with your phone. Listen, people are more concerned about what they hear rather than what they see. So if you are able to get your audio correct, you don't have any problem dealing with what they see. And to be able to let people know, see, imagine you shoot something or you work on something and then someone is like, oh, Charlie, how you do? Oh, I'll do it on my phone. Imagine the potential this person thinks you have. If you have been, if you have been able to like do this, right, with your phone, imagine what this person thinks you can do with a camera. They're actually going to give you a lot of opportunities. So always start with what you have. If you're a young creative coming up, because personally, I started with my phone. Make nobody lie. You see, like, yeah, you need the high-end camera, you need this, you need that. Bro, just start with your phone. Just start with your phone. Personally, if you don't have a budget for a camera, right? What me I would advise you be say, get one very simple light and then like a very good microphone. Just these two things, and then wait on the camera. Like for the camera, take your time, but invest in your light, invest in your microphone. With these two things, you can actually do a lot. You can actually achieve a lot, and people will be surprised like what you can do. Because all this setup you see, nothing special. It just be light. It just be light. So yes, always start with your phone. Always start with your phone. And secondly, yeah, this is a space that you want to be in. This is a space that you want to invest in. This is a space that you want to work in. So you have to learn about your space. You have to learn the basic skills of being the creative that you want to be. If it's vlogging, you have to be able to read, learn, watch YouTube videos. Like, just keep learning. You keep learning to that extent that once you get an opportunity, you just take advantage of it and you show people what you can do. You just show people what you can do. Like, just keep learning. Just learn the basic things like ISO, shutter, aperture. These are just basic things, and it's going to change your life tremendously. Like, bro, just learn shutter speed, learn ISO, learn aperture, learn composition, learn lightning. Like, these basic things. Like, learn about them before you actually get your hands on a camera. That's why you are supposed to start with what you have. That's your phone, right? You start with your phone. Do what you can with what you have. If you don't start with what you have and you don't practice to become better, you don't practice to become good, imagine if you get the camera that you want. Bro, you go shoot nothing. You go shoot nothing. So always start with what you have. Get better with what you have, and then you advance from there. But if you don't try doing something with what you have, and then you feel like, oh yeah, Charlie, cool, I go feel do some one or two things, so make I go rent. Bro, I've seen people shoot like worst things on a red. I've seen people do like the worst projects on a black magic, and you'd be surprised like the kind of output they and like you'd be surprised the camera they have and the kind of output they have just because they didn't allow themselves to go through the process. So just allow yourself to go through the process. You don't necessarily have to like get some bro, start with what you have. Yeah, start with what you have. Very, very necessary. Start with what you have. The next thing is practice regularly, right? You need to keep practicing. The fact that you have a phone should even make you practice more because you could be shooting like any. You see, there are places where you can't enter with your camera, but you can go there with your phone. I'm just so surprised that because I know a lot of people that actually just work with their phone. In as much as personally, I do not subscribe to that idea because I feel like it can actually take you to some spaces. But if you did come up or you have limited resources, right? Just start with your phone. Practice every day. See, you don't necessarily have to have people to shoot. You can just shoot products. You can just shoot like your laptop, your hand. You can just do stuff. Bro, just make sure you are shooting every single day. That is how you get better. Just make sure you are practicing every single day. That is how you get better. Make you not just stay there and think, say, oh yeah, you know, I'd be getting an opportunity. Like, you are not doing anything. Nobody's going to put you on. You have to start doing something for somebody to put you on. So just practice like every single day. Like every single day you have the opportunity, just shoot something. If you have the opportunity, just shoot something. That is how you get better. And then, you see, from practicing, from shooting with your phone, that is when you get to understand what you need. That is where you get to know and understand what you need and why you need them. You'll be surprised to know that at the end of the day, you might not even feel the need for a camera. So you just start with what you have. And by working with what you have, you get to realize that, okay, this is what I need. Okay, I need a camera. Do I really want to do pictures? Do I really want to do photos? Do I really want to do videos? What do I really want to do? You see, you just give yourself that gap, that space to learn about you yourself as a creative. What do I want to do? It's just like you giving yourself a gap year to relax and then learn about life. So you don't necessarily have to see, always start with what you have. This is a conversation that I would always have. Always start with what you have. You see, that is the reason why sometimes people be like, Charlie, I won't buy camera, we camera maker buy. Because you didn't even go through the process. So you don't even know what you are getting the camera for. You don't know why you are getting the camera. Yes, everybody say 4K. So, bro, there are people out here who are actually shooting like 720 and they actually have like good stories with a very good sound. So if you shoot more, if you start with what you have, that is the point where you get to realize what you need. So always start with what you have. Then through that, you'll be able to find what you need. Okay, I for buy this light. I for buy this lens. Okay, I for buy this body. Okay, I want to do only pictures. Okay, I for buy this memory card. This, you see, by giving yourself that chance to start with what you have and doing what you love, you get to grow out of that space of uncertainty, and then you just start believing in yourself and then knowing what to do more. even at that point, you'll be connected to like a lot of people who will be giving you ideas or be telling you, okay, if you do them like this, it will be. If you buy this one, it will be. Just do something to get yourself connected to people. Just don't be waiting that, okay, I did find this camera, I did find this mic, I did find. Just start with what you have. Every other thing will just be added onto you. Before just start with what you have. Before just start with what you have. Don't see. Wait for no man. Nobody's waiting for you. You don't have to wait for anybody. Just start with what you have. Personally, there's this conversation of beginner friendly camera and all that. You see, when you go through that whole process, right, of learning with what you have, you wouldn't have to make such decisions. You'd be actually going in for what you really need, right? You'd actually be going in for what you really need instead of starting with what you have. After you started with what you have and you have an idea what you are doing, right? You would actually have access to what you really need. See, I know people out here who have never owned a camera, but then be creative directors. Like they've done correct projects. Them a whole life. They don't buy camera before. But they are doing crazy projects. So what's your excuse? You have no excuse. The only excuse you have now is the fact that you think you need everything to start. You will go inside self, then you from streets. You don't have anybody from house. Money no day house. You know go start with what you have, then build from there. You want me get everything. How you go get that? It's not possible. So always start with what you have. That is supposed to be like the mindset. If you are from like a space where you think you don't have enough, always start with what you have. Because from what you have, you'll be able to get what you need. So yes, I'm going to end today's episode here. It has been an amazing time talking to you guys. I'm going to end today's episode here. This is my second time saying I'm going to end today's episode here. So yes, I'm ending it here, and let's all get busy from this point.